Hey troops, welcome back to the Litanah army. I'm Lit and this is Wayfinder, and today we're looking at the boss Wormwood, which is an absolutely awesome boss. It's a great boss fight. I'm going to give you the phases on how to defeat it. I'm going to let you know the attack patterns and then give you some additional tips as well. So stay tuned and let's look how to take down this amazing boss fight. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is the sweeping melee attacks. So what Wormwood does then is performs a wide horizontal swings with his limbs, targeting players who are in close proximity. And the countermeasure for that is really simple. All you've got to do is maintain a safe distance during these attacks. And if you're engaged in melee, you just time your dodge. If you're with Nis, for example, you could hit the where she throws out the shurikens, you just like jump up out the way. But do your dodge to evade the swings. It's quite an easy one to get out of that one. The second one is the poison cloud emission. So what he actually does is, Wormwood then releases a cloud of poison that lingers on the battlefield, dealing damage over time to anyone within the area. Now a good countermeasure for that is to either quickly move out of the affected area, if you want to avoid sustained damage, or you can equip your gear with poison resistance, or have some antidotes ready so that you can just pop a potion while he's put that down. Now one of the cool attacks that he's got is root summoning. Now what that does is he summons the roots from the ground to immobilize players temporarily, so you're kind of stuck in place while he's put the roots up there if you get caught in them. Dead easy countermeasure for that one. Just stay vigilant for the ground indicators because they'll come up, you'll be able to see them quite clearly. Just move away promptly to prevent being ensnared. And the final attack he's got is the laser beams. So in certain phases, what Wormwood will do is he'll emit a laser that will target specific areas. You can see these on the ground quite easily, so the countermeasure for those is just to observe the boss, just watch his movements, anticipate what the laser direction is going to be, and just jump out of the way. It is quite tricky. If you do get caught by it, it does an insane amount of damage, but it is quite easy to dodge. A lot of the time, staying close to him means that you can actually, cut down your angles and you can get away pretty easily. Now he does have three phases, so the three phases of the Wormwood boss are, the first one is when he's at 70 to 100% of his health. So the behaviour then, so he's over 70% of his health, that's phase one. And what he'll do, he'll utilise his basic melee attacks and the poison clouds. That's what he'll be doing most of the time then. And we've talked about the strategy with those. So focus on learning the attack patterns, dealing consistent damage while avoiding the poison areas, and you should be absolutely fine with that. Once you're getting below 70%, but above 40%, so between 40 and 70%, then you get into phase two. Now, his behavior increases, so the frequency of the poison clouds are going to become, a lot more, they're going to be increased. And he also introduces the root snare. So the root snare will come in when he gets to about 70% health, and he'll use that all the way down to about 40% health. So make sure that you're mobile in this fight, make sure you maintain mobility. Avoid the roots and the poison, and just coordinate if you've got teammates there. Make sure that you're freeing any ensnared team members with that as well. Once you're getting below 40%, then you enter phase 3, and his behaviour then becomes a lot more aggressive. He starts combining all the previous attacks with increased frequency, and he adds the laser beam attack as well. So the laser beam actually means you're doing well. You've got him down to 40% if you've got him down to the laser beam. So all you've got to do with the laser is just stay alert for the indicators when it comes up. Make sure that the way that I do the laser beam is I get in close to him. Get in close, cut down your angles, and then you can just move side to side and usually get out of the way of that. But prioritize survival while dealing damage during the safe windows, and then just put lots of damage down during that time, and you should be absolutely fine. Now your team coordination with this one, really, just communicate effectively, call out attacks if you're on mic, is always good. Assist ensnared teammates, always a great one. The consumables to take for this fight are health potions, antidotes, and obviously your build as well needs to be more about that poison resistance, and going for that one, so if you get anything that does that kind of thing, you should be absolutely fine. And then last one, your positioning. I would usually say spread out to minimize the impact of area attacks and reduce the chance of multiple teams, getting immobilized all at the same time, because that could lead to quite a quick wipe. If it can ensnare two of you and just leave one, and that last person is really squishy, it can end the fight pretty quickly. But I've took down the fight. I did it solo with Silo. That's quite easy to say. So I did the fight solo with Silo. So I'll leave the footage on here now. So for you guys that want to carry on watching and see the boss taken down, you can actually see these things put into place. Okay, so as it turns out, I actually did this battle with Nis, not with Silo. I don't know where I got that from, but still, you can still keep an eye on the attacks. You can look at the attack patterns, what he does, and also you can keep an eye on the phases as well. And I'm just going to leave this playing so you guys can see it to the end, and you guys can see just how well you can take him down when you know what he's going to be doing. Stay tuned.
Bring me its essence.